Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Bowl TV. This is Matt Canizaro alongside Aaron Smith, and we're live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships here in El Paso, Texas. We are behind lanes 3 and 4 tonight to watch two talented teams from the East Coast, and we saw them make some noise in recent years, including a record run last year in Reno. So we'll have all the details for you on that and more coming up. But thanks for stopping by here on this Friday evening. We'll be here for all three games of this team event. Aaron Smith checking in. We'll have the rosters for you coming up now.
Do I have sound? Oh, I have sound now. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Once again, welcome everyone to Bowl TV here for another team event from the USBC Open Championships in El Paso, Texas. We have 123bowl.com and buddiesproshop.com out of Naugatuck, Connecticut joining us today. Talented group out of the Northeast. As you mentioned, 123bowl.com held the record for highest team game for just a little bit last year, $12.99.
That's quite a night. One of the few nights I actually tried to escape with some friends over to eat some dinner across the street at the El Dorado, and somewhere in the middle of the 32 bagger that they threw on the way to $12.99, I got the call, and we were adding it up at the table on the back of a placemat, and it was looking pretty good there for a record number. 1281 was the high score at the time, and they flew past that, so we spent some time telling the world all about that. So there they are, 123bowl.com again here on tonight's broadcast.
Making up that lineup, Jeff Vogt, Ronald Broget Jr., RJ for short, Thomas Solomine Jr., Dave Kibberman, and Tim Gillick. For buddiesproshop.com, Chris Forry, Brian Graham, Sam Macaroon, John Fury, and Michael Mullin. I also have a story about that legendary 32 bagger. I was actually the one working, and during game 2 of a team event, that's kind of a chance to, if you need to go grab a quick bite to eat or something, that's probably the best time to do it. And I had just gotten something from the snack bar at the stadium, and when I was walking back, someone from the information area said, you know what's going on? I think it was 29-30. I'm like, I just figured, 7-8 in a row or something like that. I was getting towards the end of the game. It's like, no, it's a little bit more than that. And then went to go look at our score viewer in the office, and holy cow, they've missed twice. Vogt and Gillick had spares in the first frame, and then 32 in a row after that until I believe Thomas was the one who had the streak end. He left a 10-pin, I think, in the 8th frame to end the streak, and that $12.99 certainly could have been a little bit more. Had a few tough breaks down the stretch, but still something you don't see every day here at the Open Championships, or anywhere for that matter.
Well, that $12.99 didn't last very long. That score was beaten just a few weeks later by a Turbo Grips team out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. They shot 13-18. I can't say that that day lacked excitement at all. That June afternoon and evening. So 13-18 now, the highest score in tournament history. 12.99 second. So we'll see if 123bowl.com can reclaim the top spot in that category. If you're curious about the records or any other details about the Open Championships, you can visit bowl.com/OpenChamp and check out all about the great history of this event now in its 112th year. So a lot of talent and experience on these two lanes. Vogt with the 300 here at the Open Championships already.
Back in 09.
RJ Broget as well in 2002. And he used to actually work at the event in the Columbia booth. Back, it was at the start of my career here in 2005.
Holy cow.
I know it. And of course, Last year we saw Chris Forry make a nice run in all events, finish 9th. Brian Graham and Mike Mullin, two past Team USA members, a lot of experience. Mike Mullin rolled on a Masters TV show, I believe, at one point. And, of course, Sam Macarone, a top senior player. I know all the years kind of run together now at my age, Mr. Smith, but I believe we were on the air at one point, and these gentlemen were on the other side of the house. The Buddy's Pro Shop guys were putting up some big numbers in recent years too. We watched them from a distance, so a lot of potential, but a big number on top of the leaderboard right now, 3368. That is Team NABR, and that team includes Adam Barta, Brian Wallachek, Rob Gottschall, who is also our all events leader, Mike Rose, and Scott Pohl. So another very talented and experienced team with potential, and lived up to that potential this year with a big run in the team event, ending in dramatic fashion. You can check that out in the archives on Bowl TV. Some top bowlers in town this week, so a lot to look at, and some of them came up to us prior to the broadcast and gave their props to Gottschall and company for not only the all-event score but that team score on two challenging lane conditions here in 2015. And if you're curious what these gentlemen are bowling on, you can also check out bowl.com/openchamp. Click on the lane conditions tab and get some nice colorful graphs to show you exactly what you're going to have to contend with here in El Paso. But as of today, only 39 teams have reached the 3,000 mark. So that just goes to statistically prove you have to make great shots this year in El Paso. Last year, when it was all said and done, 9,000 plus teams, 665 teams broke the 3,000 mark. So you really have to earn every bit of that here in 2015. And Aaron, something we haven't seen too much this year is multiple lefties on this pair of lanes.
You should be so excited, Matthew.
Well, in theory, yes. Certainly to get a look at what's going on, but knowing that I am far from the classification of these gentlemen and their accomplishments. But what I'm seeing on the left side so far is a lot of surface.
Definitely a little bit of grit up there.
We've seen a handful of live stream broadcasts, and I know a lot of folks tune in to see the different strategies and lane play. And we've seen a little bit of everything. So I think this is one of those years, just get out there and get comfortable. Play your A game, and it's going to be a grind no matter what. Certainly we've seen some big numbers, some big signal game scores, and the like. But most important, make your spares. We do appreciate everybody giving us part of your evening. And the bowlers appreciate it as well. But looks like some new names in the chat room. Thanks for stopping by. And we've seen a bunch of teams make the top 10, struggle a little bit in the opening game, and then have the lanes open up and yield some big scores down the road, but certainly have to grind it out, fill those frames early. As I have a feeling 32 in a row this year is going to be a little bit more challenging.
Gonna say yes. There's my insight for the day. But this week will definitely be a true testament of how tough this pattern is. A lot of very, very good teams in town. Even on this squad, Ronnie Sparks and a few others out of the Michigan area, way down on the other end of the house. Tomorrow will be a pretty exciting day. We'll be here on Bowl TV again, Matt McNeil and company. We also have the O'Keefes in town. Brian and Shannon are actually over at the Bowlers Journal right now. They'll be bowling. Jeff Carter and crew.
So while you're talking, I know you got that grin on your face. I know what you saw in the chat room.
Exactly.
It's Zeke Bate checking in. Zeke, of course, part of that team last year that bowled 13-18, that monster score, top of the record books, on their way to 3,500 and a top 10 finish. But there is the big question of the Zeke Bate and Aaron Smith dance-off. Zeke, a very good dancer, spends some of his free time and posts videos on YouTube. And
what do you call what I do then? If this is good, I mean, I'm
you try your best.
Above average, at least.
Well, here, see, that's the thing is that I know you saw what he did, and you said, oh, I can do that. And Aaron Smith has a signature move, and it involves dancing, but his feet don't move. So it's more of an arm and upper body type movement. And we decided that before Zeke's live stream last year for singles, while they were oiling the lanes, we were going to have this dance off. And after testing Aaron's skills at the house, I realized that he wasn't ready for the big stage at that point, so we postponed it. But Zeke's calling you out, guy. You ready? You've been practicing your moves?
Practicing is one way to describe it, sure.
All right, well, you got till June. Zeke will be here. We bowl June 19th and 20th. So get to practicing.
Can I sub in Amigo Man for this? Can I be Amigo Man for this?
I say if you wear the costume, sure, but otherwise, no subs. But in the meantime, while you're planning your attack, let's watch a little bowling. Again, you're watching 123bowl.com. They own the second highest game in tournament history as a team, $12.99. And of course, the very accomplished BuddiesProShop.com team. So a lot of potential and tons of experience on this pair of lanes. You see a left-hander, Mike Mullin, mixing him up on lane 4. Mike, a former Team USA member, a standout at St. John's University, has bowled an 822 series here at the Open Championships.
One pin shy from taking home a share of the Eagle. Mark Millsap Another lefty from my neck of the woods in Indiana. 823. Mullin put up 822 back in Billings in 02.
I remember walking in and seeing the leaderboards at that event and being awfully intimidated by some of the names, and I was still just a youngster back then, just starting out in my Open Championships career, and certainly it didn't really all come into perspective for me until 2005. As an employee here, getting to meet all of these great bowlers and see things unfold, but definitely a great appreciation for all of the names that we hear, whether it be for accomplishments or dedication. 2 bowlers on this squad celebrating 61 years of participation. So not everybody's going to win an eagle or shoot an honor score, but we also appreciate and recognize our longtime bowlers because, of course, without everybody returning to the event, we would not be here. And one of those gentlemen, actually both of those gentlemen, on the verge of 100,000 pins as well, Frank Clay and Clinton Zavakos. And Zavakos less than 1,000 pins away, so he is expected to reach that 100,000 pin milestone tomorrow afternoon. And Frank Clay is going to have a pretty stellar year in the upper 1700s. If he's going to get there, it's not impossible. So we'll be ready for both of those gentlemen, and you can find the recap of that tomorrow on bowl.com. But right now, team event here live behind lanes 3 and 4.
A few opens early on for both teams as they're settling in on this 38-foot pattern. Teams are staying committed to their game plan, it looks like, so far. Maybe weathering the storm, hoping for a little bit bigger showing in the final 2 games, but still game 1 left to go. Shots like that will certainly help. RJ delivering in the 4th. Great shot there from Ryan Graham. Graham's making his 18th appearance, a 208 lifetime average here at the Open Championships. He's a former Team USA member, he's taken home a few international medals over the course of his career.
Good question in the chat room, and if anybody else has questions, feel free to drop those in there. Question about where or how far back the live streams go on YouTube. And there was a time we were back on Ustream, so there are a lot of good stuff from the early days archived on Ustream. I don't recall off the top of my head where the transition came in, where we left Ustream behind and started putting everything on YouTube. had our previous videos and such already archived on Bowl TV, and then we transitioned everything over. So if you can't find something on YouTube, definitely check out USBC's Ustream channel, and you might be surprised what kind of goodies you find there from the early days of live streaming here at the Open Championships, going back to 2010. No headsets.
Back in the dark ages.
It was pretty entertaining. It was me and Emil Williams Jr. sitting at a laptop, passing a microphone back and forth.
Ha. Well, the times have changed.
It was a very elaborate setup. And then we evolved and had a whole bunch of stuff and multiple boxes of wires and computers and cameras and such to get it all done, and then we've downgraded again to a nice little setup here. So trying to keep up with technology. We definitely have come a long way since our debut in 2010. As Aaron mentioned, our next broadcast will be tomorrow night at 5 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern. Three-time Eagle winner Matt McNeil and one of our newest USBC Hall of Famers, Sam Lanto. Sam inducted into the USBC Hall of Fame earlier this week. Those guys always put on a good show. And between their 5 players just on that one team, they have 3 perfect games on Bowl TV. McNeil with 2, and Luke Voigtlander had 1. So you never know what those guys will have in store for us. And then when that's over, we'll pack things up, and Mr. Smith will take the show on the road.
It was funny when I was walking in today, Brian and Shannon O'Keefe were taking some equipment out of their car on their way to go bowl the Bowler's Journal. They're over there right now, and Brian asked me, "So Aaron, what's your next big trip?" And I said, "Well, Brian, I'm actually going to be going to Reno next week. I have to live stream some defending Diamond champion team or something like that. I don't know, it's no big deal." Shannon was smiling the whole time because that's her team. So we'll be getting a chance to see the O'Keefes here at the Open Championships. They'll be bowling tomorrow night at 5 p.m. local time as well, and then I'll be taking the equipment over to the National Bowling Stadium. We'll get a few live streams from the Women's Championships next week, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. We'll have the Diamond Team Champions Bowl Eve and Akir featuring O'Keefe, USBC Hall of Famer Linda Barnes, Tennille Milligan, and Kendra Gaines. So let's see if they can put up another number like they did last year. 28-19, the 4-player team score. It's nearly 235 a person there. And then the following day, we'll actually have their doubles and singles as well, as Barnes looks to defend her all events title. It was her 5th and 6th women's championships titles.
Not too shabby, sir. Some nice resumes and great opportunity to showcase our other great events. USBC Women's Championships, and now starting in 2015, the new USBC Mixed. So if your lady friend is headed to Reno to compete, why not go along, bowl mixed team event or mixed doubles while you're out there, and let's help that event grow and succeed. And of course, it will join the Women's Championships again next year when those events debut in the new South Point Bowling Plaza in Las Vegas. So who doesn't like Las Vegas? Appreciate all the kind words in the chat room and everybody checking in to watch these 10 great players and some left-handers. I see Chris Hester taking a look. Certainly picked the right night to take notes.
Great shot by John Fury. Appears he's making his Open Championships debuts, but he's certainly no stranger to success out on the lanes. Big name in the East region of the PBA regional circuit. All right, halfway through game number one. Handful of opens already for both teams. A few more strikes up there for 123bowl.com.
Here's Vogt up on lane 4, looking to see if he can get that 32-bagger jump started here in 2015. And there it is, one in a row. I believe that was the game heard around Reno, as there was much discussion inside Brew Brothers as those strikes piled up. And then to have a front row seat to the score that broke that record, pretty phenomenal.
You had no idea what was going on. What are you talking about?
I really had no idea until about the 8th frame when you came down. I thought you were just doing what I did and come running down with the camera to get some footage of you, so that the world could critique my own performance. And then I looked up and you did a little math for me and said, "Oh, big things are happening here." So
you were so focused on your on-lane performance, you were oblivious to everything else. That's okay though. It's a team effort, just like it is out there on the lanes and the media department as well.
So RJ makes it 2 in a row for 123bowl.com. 30 to go. We should do like the baseball fans and just put X's across the wall here as they get closer.
We have the space.
We are perched high above the lanes here at the El Paso Convention Center. Right now behind lanes 3 and 4. Top row of the bleachers. You can see the showcase lanes from here. This year's venue, 52 lanes for the Open Championships. And then separated by a small couple of walls here, the showcase lanes, 10 more lanes. And that's where we have our team practice sessions and the Bowlers Journal Championship. So your opportunity to get a look at this year's 2 lane conditions. 39 feet for doubles and singles, 38 feet for the team event. And then right next door, the Showcase Cantina. Some delicious Southwestern treats for you, as well as adult and non-adult beverages. So certainly a lot to see and do under the roof here at the Convention Center. Just looking over at the Bowlers Journal right now. We mentioned some of the names. Matt McNeil and his crew. The Linz Lakers, Shannon O'Keefe, Brian O'Keefe, Gary Faulkner, another very talented left-hander, was part of the national title winning team at Weber International not too long ago. And those guys made a huge run at the Open Championships in recent years as well. So if you're nearby and you're a bowling fan, this is the weekend to be here. Come check out some top players. There's Jeff Carter, USBC record holder for average in a season, averaged more than 261. Got word today that his teammate Jason Queen will not be appearing at this year's Open Championships due to injury. But no doubt they found a suitable replacement. And if you'd like to follow along with any of these top players, you can check out the X Bowling live scoring app, or just go to the Scores tab on the Open Championships page and you'll see a link right to the X Bowling website. So you can check out any lane in the house, any bowlers, anytime. Hopefully somebody realizes that we are up here and on this low side of the bowling center in case something happens on the high side. I believe Ronnie Sparks and his talented team are down on 51 and 52, if I'm not mistaken. So it couldn't be farther away.
That's true. This is the furthest left we've been so far for a live stream, so we're at 7 and 8 for Lewis Jenkins Jr. just a few days ago.
So some early woes here for BuddiesProShop.com. A lot of holes on the scoreboard and a couple challenging spares here. Big 4 for Forry. He started with a strike, but has not been able to put up another.
Late trip 4 for Vogt. That gives him 3 in a row. 4 out of 5 last stream for 123bowl.com.
Nice break there for Brian Graham. Rolling the 2 forward. That ball on lane 3 just now, Mr. Smith was headed right at the 3-pin as soon as RJ let go. He's got a tough spare for a left-hander here. The old 2-8. So, mental note, don't miss right. And then Mullin on his last shot, don't miss left. There you have it.
Sounds like your game plan's set to go.
Basic strategy. Sometimes people ask, what ball do I need? What do I need to play? I said, just watch the 2 or 3 shots we posted of Rob Gottschall and do that. All right, so just moving along here in game number 1. If you're just tuning in, you're watching 123bowl.com and buddiesproshop.com live at the 2015 USBC Open Championships. This is Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. And we'll be here for all 3 games of tonight's team event. The number on top of the leaderboards, 3368. And a lot of teams have come through and definitely given their props to Team NABR for that score. If you're curious about what else is around the top of the leaderboard, you can visit bowl.com/openchamp, click on the scores tab, and you'll find all kinds of great information. I just updated the loaded cash numbers as well as some of the long-term brackets products. And if you get in the 159 strike jackpot, 1 winner so far, and that gentleman is ready to take home $12,000 if the tournament ended today.
Yowza.
So for a $10 entry, you can be entered for team doubles and singles. You can even hit it 3 times. Get 3 shares of it. I believe Dave Langer from Minnesota hit the 3-6-10 twice. So he'll take home 2 shares of that. That one paying a little bit less because there's a handful of winners. But right now, just as an example, the 159, almost 12 grand. So a lot of opportunity here for surprise money. Sometimes you have to put up money to make money, but in that case, it's just $10. We have a variety of brackets products, and many based on age or skill level. Products this year just for classified bowlers. Super seniors getting a look this year as well. A couple of cool products for the older folks, and just a good mix of opportunities. And we can read all about those on bowl.com as well. And then, of course, the Bowlers Journal Championships, your chance to not only take home some prize money, but get a look at this year's doubles and singles pattern.
Talking about those great bracket products, and not sure if you mentioned the Jackpot Trio. Have the option of joining 159, 3-6-10, and 30 clean, all for the price of $25. If you got into each one individually, it'd be 30, so take that opportunity to join in and give it your best chance. Finally got a few doubles up there for Buddy's Pro Shop. Gonna make a late charge here in game number 1.
Just a couple strings of strikes here in the opener, but that's about it. No real momentum just yet. I think getting to the point where we are in the tournament now, definitely need to be at the 1,000 mark or higher to be able to make a legitimate run at some of the top spots. Some great teams have put up very respectable numbers. A couple 3100s last night from the S&B Pro Shop guys. They were the 2012 Team All Events winners. Bill Orlikowski, Mark Moore, Kerry Kraft, and the crew. Both teams shot 3100, so you gotta feel pretty good about that. Billy stopped by earlier and said he didn't really know what to expect, but yeah, for both teams on a pair of lanes to find that success, certainly got to feel pretty good about 2 top 10 placements.
I think one of those scores fell just outside the top 10. I think 9th and
11th, I think is what he said, actually. I'm sorry about that.
And then S&B Pro Shop 1 actually moved into 6th in Team All Events 94 and 37, so just goes to show how sharp you got to be on both the 38 and 39 foot patterns, and just how strong that 10,000 number from Junior Team USA Support 1 is looking as we approach the halfway point of the 2015 event. Zeno Garcia dropping some great insight to their team performance in the chat room. So Zeno, we appreciate you stopping by as always and letting the folks know what you saw out there.
So a lot of good information flowing in the chat room tonight. Good questions and good insight by Zeno Garcia. He's a member of the Artistic Expressions team that bowled the highest team series in tournament history last year, on the way to the regular team title, 37-20. Those guys were out here not too long ago. Shot 30-88. It was a top 10 score at the time, just outside now. Not a bad effort, and admittedly, a few miscues. But a good experience overall for those gentlemen. I just want to clarify for Vanessa in the chat room. You're able to adjust the settings on your screen. You see a little gear shift at the bottom of the video window, and that'll allow you to change it all the way up to HD. So great quality from behind the lanes here in El Paso.
Click on 720p to get the HD. You can see the 10th frame here of game one. Make it 6 in a row for vote. 123bowl.com as it didn't miss in the 9th, so we'll see if they can add a few more doubles after Jeff here.
We have a Baton Rouge contingent in town this weekend. Got to know all those guys back in 2005 and 2012. And we'll see them again in 2017. The USBC Women's Championships. And then the Open headed there in 2025.
You realize he'll be almost 50 by then, Canizaro?
Thanks for pointing that out, Mr. Smith. I'll be looking forward to the senior super brackets and all the other products not too far down the road for me. A lot of history at the Open Championships. This is the 112th edition. I haven't quite been to all of them, but this is year number 11 behind the scenes here for me. And in all that time, 112 years, our very first visit to the Sun City here in El Paso. Women's Championships was here in 2010. Great experience for the bowlers and the city. And they were excited to have us back, and we're glad to be here. So a lot of terrific things to see and do nearby. And as we're doing tonight's broadcast, just giving some advice to some of our other friends in town looking for somewhere to eat dinner, something to do. So definitely a lot going on besides terrific bowling. So 10th frame underway. Jeff Vogt, 235. Nice start for 123bull.com there. Definitely going to put themselves in position to have a lot of work to do in games 2 and 3.
.3368, a big number this year. Only 2 teams cracked the 3,300 mark up to this juncture. It'll take a little bit more than 3,100 to make the top 10. Still out there for 1-2-3 bowl. Only a few doubles to get there, but we've seen it done before. We'll see it done again.
Taking a quick scan across the house here, and at least so far, not a 1,000 on the board on the low side. So classified 842 on lane 20. Not a bad start.
Solomine gets the first one, goes to the nose on the second shot. Dave Kiverman working on 3 in a row. spare and good count, and a few strikes from Gillick, 1,000 still in play. Buddy's Pro Shop closer to the 930-ish mark, a few strikes from Mullin.
All right, so 10th frame not going awesome here for these two teams on our featured pair. A lot of pins left out there. Gillick staring down the 710 on lane 4.
They're a team 2 kind of team, so that's, or a game 2 time. Game 2 time of team. There we go. Got it all in the sentence in the correct order.
All right, so 123bull.com in the books, 976. Not a bad start.
To be honest, not that far off of last year's pace either. Before they had the big second game, 1299. Had barely cracked the 1,000 mark in 2014 in game 1. .912 in the books for Buddy's Pro Shop. Game 2 brought to you by Sparrows. Been to El Paso already? You might understand that comment.
So still some good discussion going on in the chat room. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in there. Tell all your friends we're watching bowling live from El Paso here on Bowl TV. Matt Canizaro and Aaron Smith doing what we do. And we'll be doing it tomorrow night as well. Same time, same place, different pair of lanes. Curious about the live stream schedule for the rest of the week and the rest of the tournament. Check out the information tab on the Open Championships page, and you'll see it at the bottom of the menu. I was going to say there appears to be some sort of event going on, but it is Alfresco Friday, Mr. Smith. That means live music and food and all kinds of entertainment going on right outside the door to our office, as a matter of fact, in the main plaza in front of the convention center. So if you're lucky enough to be here on a Friday, a lot of things to see and do out there, and different kind of music every week. Jeff DeMunk asking, is that every Friday? Well, El Paso has been very hands-on with this year's event. They even have a very cool app that you can go on and see what's going on when you're in town. It'll even help you plan your trip a little bit. So Destination El Paso, very hard-working group. So make sure to visit their site and see what's what here. Maybe help you plan your trip a little bit. All the great sites and restaurants around the city. So game 2 underway. Now it's time to shine for these East Coasters. And RJ, I'm sorry, that was Dave Kipperman throwing the same ball, but that one was run away from the start. Not used to seeing more than one lefty out there, and now we're looking at 3. Game plan solidified. Don't miss left, don't miss right. Make your spares.
Well, we know you can't do that. So. Ha.
Thank you, Mr. Smith, for that boost of confidence.
That's what I'm here for.
Open Championships. Doom, Director of Morale, taking after.
I get to take over for Terry Bigham on site?
Just on site, yes.
Just on site, okay. You're coming off a big, was it 1970 last year and change? Is that the number?
I believe it was in the 1920s, but it felt like 2100 after the couple of years before that.
Still a nice performance, though. Came out of the gates firing, stealing the show.
That's true. 279 start. And then, of course, our companion team started breaking records, and all of a sudden, multitasking. Great shot there by Forry on lane 4. We've seen him strike a lot. Last year, 9th place all events. Not a bad run at all. RJ high again on the left lane. Leaves the baby split.
Saw a few ball changes towards the end of game number 1, and looks like a few of them are working out for some of the guys on Buddy's Pro Shop here. Early going to game 2. Graham finished strong to get to 2:14 to lead the way.
Take this opportunity to thank our gold partners for supporting us in this year's Open and Women's Championships. Columbia 300, Hammer, Kegel, and Storm. You'll see those logos all around the venue here in El Paso. And of course the very special lane machines we have this year provided by Kegel are custom painted Kegel Flex lane machines. Only 13 in existence, 5 of them here at the Open Championships. The rest being used at other USBC tournaments. And they'll be auctioned off after the tournament season has ended. And those proceeds will go to benefit Folds of Honor. Military organization helps fund scholarships and such for those families. Very cool to be a part of that. And those machines are pretty sweet looking, with a price tag of $35,000, I believe. Certainly would be a nice donation for that charity. If you're interested in having one for your bowling center, you can contact Kegel for more details on how to secure one of those later this summer.
I have to outbid Matt Cannizzaro though.
True. Cool to have a nice piece of tournament history. That might be some incentive to go get some bowling lanes as well.
Will go well with the ping pong table. Nice cover by Kipperman. Taking care of the 3-6-7. BuddiesProShop.com looking like the team we're used to seeing out here so far in game 2.
There you go. Don't miss to the outside either. You see Gillick taking 3 off the right. We're giving you all the tools here tonight, folks. Everything you need to know about success here. And it's only the 3rd frame of game number 2. So much time for more wisdom.
Yikes.
Well, Mr. Smith, I actually heard from somebody today who does not heed our advice. Said that he enjoys our live stream broadcast quite a bit. Very informative, especially when we talk about things besides bowling, so folks know what to expect when they come to the host city and such. But he said that he likes to have it on in the background while he's working. So while we advise folks to watch but don't listen, he's taking the opposite approach and tuning in for the witty banter and terrific information.
So he's the one.
Ha!
We enjoy joking around, but we really do appreciate the support from everyone, and always enjoy seeing the same familiar names in the chat room time and time again. And of course, when you happen to come on site, feel free to introduce yourselves and say hello. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Especially about this great host city of El Paso. Roger connects in the third.
So Buddy's pro shot clean now into the third frame.
Nice shot by Kipperman. That appears to be the first dent in Buddy's pro shots Game 2 performance. Macaron leaving the 4-6-10.
Mr. Smith, in my quest for 30 clean here at the Open Championships, which has never ever happened, it's more elusive than an eagle, I think, for some.
Huh.
I did pick this up, thinking that was it, I was money. And then I left it again 2 frames later on the same lane. My dreams were squashed yet again. Also one of our jackpots here at the Open Championships. Your chance at a little extra prize money. And a really cool trophy, usually. One of our on-site awards. This year, having 30 clean will probably get you a nice piece of the prize fund as well.
Nice shot by Fury in the third. Hopefully both of these teams settling down a bit. See what they have in store for us here in the final 2 games. Tough break for Graham. Chopping the 6 off the 10. It did every such move up there except fall. Kipperman connects for the first double of game 2 for 123bull.com. See if Gillick can add one of his own here. Mullin gets his first strike of game 2. Once again, we want to thank everyone for joining us here on Bull TV on their Friday evening. Holy cow, it's Friday. Where does the time go? Once again, thank you everyone for joining in, participating in the chat as well. Please let folks know you're watching us on Bull TV on social media as well. Please go ahead and share that. And if you'd like to follow the USBC on social media, the Sport of Bowling is on Facebook, facebook.com/USBC. On Twitter, @USBC. Of course, Bull.com, the one-stop shop for all the information you need. And I will let Matt Cannizzaro talk about his personal pages, because he has way more fans than I do.
Well, I do my best to share some stuff that I find interesting or behind the scenes here at the Open Championships, Women's Championships, or just general bowling stuff about what I'm up to or what we're up to. And you can find that at Matt Cannizzaro USBC on Facebook. And then at USBC Matt on Twitter. Always glad to answer any questions or meet folks when they're nearby, or they just want to reach out and say hello. That's okay too.
We've gone international once again. Jim joining us from Australia. It's already Saturday over there.
Once again, approaching the halfway point of game number 2. The number these folks are chasing, 33-68. That is a monster. Very well earned by Team NABR. And Junior Team USA support won not far behind at 33-59. And those guys used that as a springboard to the top spot in Team All events with 10,064. So Junior Team USA supports Anthony of the Cause in position now to potentially become the second bowler in history with titles in 3 consecutive years. Those guys won Team All Events in 2013. He was our regular All Events champ last year, and now leading Team All Events with a very intimidating number.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 scores on the top of the regular team event. 33-68, 33-59, then a big drop-off after that to third place currently. Hashtag Team Dole. Cleveland 32-31. Bowling with Leverage Pro Shop at 32-11. Those are the only 4 squads able to go plus 200 so far. 31-16 rounds out the top 10. Gillick gets the messenger. It's 2 strikes are in a row on lane number 4 still. He's going to get 3 down here in game 2. Hope you were taking notes on that one, Matt. Great shot by Mullin.
I'm sure there'll be a few more over the next 2 days here.
Get a few more lefties tomorrow. Matt McNeil, Chuck Vashaw. Chris Forry's liking lane 4 as well.
It's because that's his name, sir.
See what happened there.
Clever wordplay. Got wordsmithing and some Aaron smithing as well.
I don't know how to respond to that, so I'm just not going to say anything for the rest of the show. That's a lie. I can't do that.
So Brian Graham not lucky to his right side spares on lane 4. And a miscue in frame number 6. Let's see if Macaron can pick him up.
It just seems like both teams are having a little bit of a tough time gaining momentum here. Hard time sustaining a few good frames in a row.
It's always nice if at least one or two guys can really get something going. We saw that with Rob Godshaw and the team leaders. He had 783 and was the anchor bowler for that team. Came up through 2 big shots in the 10th, as did Brian Walchek and Mike Rose. And totally a complete team effort. And though it might not reflect in some of those scores individually, a lot of teamwork and communication, and we see that with most successful teams. Is a lot of talking through what they're seeing, extra eyes. So back-to-back days, we'll have 2 or 3 left-handers on the broadcast. A good mix up to this point. Mostly all righty groups.
Can we call it Love for the Lefties Week here at the Open Championships?
Sounds all right. We had Champions Week, where we had almost all of our defending champions in with a very short span of time. And then Longevity Week, we celebrated quite a few milestones, 65, 60, 55. Dick Rice, a couple days ago, 60 years and 100,000 pins. And now 2 gentlemen bowling on this very squad on the verge of 100,000.
I have a question about how many folks are in the 100,000 pin club. With the inclusion of Dick Rice just a few days ago, he was number 16. Once again, Clinton Zavakos made less than 1,000 pins in his time here to become number 17. Frank Clay, both of those guys got 60 years last year. He's going to need a little bit more. I believe 1748 is the exact number. So he'll need a real strong performance, but Hopefully Frank can make a run and we can celebrate 3 of them in the same year. Nice shot for Vogt in the 8th. Finished up at game number 1, strong on his way to a 235 finish. He's working on 4 in a row now after an open in the 4th. Let's see if he's got that kind of finish in him again here in game 2. Buddy's Pro Shop has definitely minimized the mistakes from what we saw in game number 1. Only a few doubles out there for him though. Michael Mullin currently on 4 in a row. Great shot by Sam on lane 4. His second double of the game. Joining Graham in the 7th and the 8th.
I want to give a quick shout out to the Bartlett family watching back home in Illinois. Michelle, big supporter of Dave Bartlett, sitting right in front of Aaron Smith right now. Those guys.
It's true, he's right there.
These guys will hit the lanes this week as well. So more potentially good scores.
They're also going to have one of their guys reach the 50-year mark as well. We learned how to say his last name earlier today.
Mr. Amy will be celebrating 50 years. Awesome milestone. Appreciate the dedication.
We'll have a few 50-year milestones this entire week. I think we actually have another one on that same day and a few days later, May 5th, I believe. So
that is the Franz Pro Shop group from Waterloo, Iowa. I'll tell you a little story about Dave Bartlett.
I bet I know which one it is.
Mr. Bartlett and I, we're not Facebook friends. It's a standoff. It's not going to happen.
You and I had that for a while.
And somebody asked him why. He said, well, I'm going to be honest. Because he's on the fan page. He's been to Matt Kinizar USBC. He liked it. Every once in a while, he'll throw in a comment. But he simply put it. He said, I'm a fan of Matt Kinizar, but I really don't want to be his friend.
It's a smart guy right there.
And that's that. So
is the standoff still ongoing?
So now that they got married, he's my third favorite Bartlett. However, also, we talked the other day, April 25th, big day in Open Championships history, when we got a visit from Ron Vokes. That was the day that Ron shot 23-21 in Las Vegas in 2009. And of course, tons of excitement around the highest all-event score in history at the time. And they bowled on the 920 squad. So, got a chance to interview Ron and get some paperwork and start working on the story. But left the venue for an hour because the Bartletts were getting married nearby in Las Vegas. And then hurried back to the convention center to share the news with the world. And then on their very first wedding anniversary, Matt McNeil breaks the all-events record again, 23-26. That record still stands. So this year's crop of April 25th bowlers unable to get to that number. And we'll see if McNeil can claim his third all-events title. They'll be on the lanes tomorrow night, starting with their team event here on Bowl TV at 7 p.m. Eastern. Brian Graham was in that wedding as well, Mr. Smith. He just got 3 strikes in a row, but he was in the wedding party that day. It's all, so however many degrees of separation here at the Open Championships. Somehow everything is connected.
The bowling industry is a magical place. Michael Larson sending the love to Mr. Bartlett and family.
Mike Larson had a hard week in Omaha, Nebraska, making things happen at the USBC convention and annual meeting. Good work out there, Michael. I believe we'll see him and his teammates in the next couple days here in El Paso. What better way to unwind from a tough week at the office? Saving the game of bowling.
I believe Gary Brown, our collegiate director, is making his way out on Saturday. Neil Stremmel, the manager of the national governing body, I think he's actually heading out here today sometime to prepare for his Open Championships run in 2015. So everybody's coming to El Paso at the same time because they all miss Dave Bartlett. mentioned Gary Brown's name, and he shows up in the chat room. He knew it was coming. A few final moments of preparation for Mr. Brown. Well, we're thinking college bowling for a second in just a few days. May 4th, this Monday.
See, everything ties together.
Be sure to check out your local listings for CBS Sports Network for the first of 4 shows from the 2015 X-Bowling Intercollegiate Singles and Team Championships. We'll kick off with the women's singles show on the 4th. Men's singles will be on the 11th. Women's team on the 18th, and the men's team finale on the 25th. So every Monday in May, each show starts at 7 p.m. Eastern. Once again, check your local listings for CBS Sports Network so you can find out who took care of business.
So we're not going to talk about it at all tomorrow?
Nope, it's not going to happen.
No spoiler alerts? As we'll have a recently former collegiate bowler on the live stream, Matt McNeil.
His name is Jeff Vogt. He is enjoying finishing off games here in the team event. 235 in the opener. Throwing a few strikes at the end of the game, and he's going to be in the 240s here. Leading the way for 123bowl.com.
Just posted the honor score count for the year today. 4 300s, 2 299s, and 1 additional 11 in a row. And that is it. 2 challenging lane conditions. You can find those colorful graphs at bowl.com/openchamp. Click on the lane conditions tab, and you'll see all you could ever want to know about what you're bowling on here in El Paso. This is Matt Cannizzaro. Aaron Smith on the other side of the table. And we are glad to be here behind lanes 3 and 4 at the El Paso Convention Center. If you missed any of tonight's broadcast or want to go back and watch it again, just go to youtube.com/bowltv. All kinds of goodies, including watching Rob Gottschall step up and throw 2 strikes in the 10th to land his team in the lead. 33-68 is the number everyone's gunning for now here in 2015.
Nice 224 for Brian Graham after 214 in the opener. $1,100 still out there for Buddy's Pro Shop. They need a whole bunch of strikes, but it's still there. That's all you can ask for. So definitely bouncing back nicely after a rough game one. Nice shot by Sam there. All three for Macaron gives him 203. Nice double for Tom Solomine. Getting to the 190s here. There are a few early opens. Celebrities everywhere, Matt Cannizzaro. Bill Webb is checking out guys on 3 and 4. Watch them finish up here. Getting some thoughts from them before they bowl tomorrow. Chris Viale.
With flowing locks.
And his hair is here. It's just impressive. There's no other word for it. Superstar.
Is that what superstars do?
Absolutely. .225 for John Fury. We'll see what Mullin can do here. 1081, their max score. It's a tough way to shoot 207 for Dave Kipperman, but still a nice game. It could have been 206 though, so every pin counts.
That will make a good story, I'm sure, someday.
So both teams are going to be plus in game 2. 123bull.com can actually get to +5 overall. Let's see if Tim can connect one more time. Another mixer. Definitely a nice bounce back from Buddy's Pro Shop in game 2. Only 4 opens over the course of the entire game, and the last one came in the 6th frame, so some of those frames that got away definitely made up for here. Game 2, we'll see if it carries on to game 3. So definitely a nice consistent effort all around, so.
We've been lucky this year. We've seen some pretty decent scores and teams, and some obviously really great scores, and having our team and team all events leaders live on Bowl TV.
So 1025 for 123bull.com. Pardon me. Puts him at +1 through 2 games. Not far behind Buddy's Pro Shop.com. 1070 in game 2. 1982 overall, so they're -18. Jeff Vogt leading the way, 482 after 2 games. He kicks off game 3 with a strike.
Well, I just got the replay of that 1 count here on Bowl TV, and I think the reactions of his teammates were priceless. Mike Mullin even had to step off the approach.
You gotta be focused when you get up there. Somehow, even after watching me for 3 games, my companion team nearly shot 3,000 after watching me bowl that many times. So kudos to them for their composure on the lanes. Have an 8:30 squad of doubles and singles coming up right after this here at the El Paso Convention Center. The new squad schedule in 2015. Not a bad time, and you get a little bit of variety each day. Certain days you'll have your 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. doubles and singles squads, followed by a 5 p.m. and 8:30 p.m. team event. And days after 2 team events, that 8:30 will be doubles and singles. Certain days there'll be 3 of them, other days 2. But not a bad time anymore in 2015. Tony Renaud checking up on these guys. He actually bowled team event yesterday. Another strong player out of the Northeast. He's bowling doubles and singles tonight at 8:30.
Not a bad first frame for BuddiesProShop.com. 4 out of 5 strikes. Trying to get to that 3,000 mark.
Yeah, both teams would need a pretty big 1,300 to get up to the 3368. But yeah, certainly plenty of pins still out there and available for not only team event tonight, the overall standings for the year, but always want to get off to a good start for team all events as well. Need as many pins as you can get to that 10,000 plus number up on top. Ball change there for RJ, just trying to find something after a pair of 170s.
These lefties are making me nervous, Mr. Smith. They're making your 1686 or whatever score look interesting.
Much like my performance out on the lanes.
Of course.
Interesting, good word to describe it.
I believe Lucas Wiseman was practicing today. He'll be headed out this way sometime in May, typically.
I believe he's at the very end of the month.
So you guys both will have put the numbers up. I regained the pride of our department in 2014. Kipperman almost does it again. Just gets a piece of the 4-pin and ends up with 5 instead of 1. So mental note. Playing the twig. Probably not gonna happen for me.
Takes care of the spare though. Doubles for Gillick and Mullin to start game number 3 as well. We talked about it a little bit already here on our broadcast, but be sure to check out bowl.com/livestream to see the upcoming events on Bowl TV. We'll be back at it same time, same channel tomorrow as we feature recent USBC Hall of Fame inductee Sam Lanto and the Linz Lakers. Also featuring Matt McNeil tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll take a few days off. I'm going to steal the equipment, fly to Reno. And we will have 3 live streams from the Women's Championships at the National Bowling Stadium starting May 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. The defending Diamond Team champions Linda Barnes, Shannon O'Keefe, Neil Milligan, and Kendra Gaines making up Believe in a Cure. We'll see their title defense. You may have heard of them. They're pretty good at the bowling. Following day, we'll also have their doubles and singles as Barnes, the USBC Hall of Famer, also won the All Events crown at the 2014 event. So we'll see her overall title defense. And then on the 10th, we'll be back to team event at the Women's Championships. Washington State standout Lisa Barfield and her team will be featured at 7 p.m. Eastern. Our first live stream back at the Open after tomorrow's performance. Some guy named Jeff Rich Gels. I don't know. I guess he's done cool things before. So we'll feature, of course, the 11thframe.com crew. Their team event will be on the 15th at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'm sure we'll get a lot of folks tuning in for that one. Always a big crowd when Riggs and company come to town, so they'll bring you all the action live here on Bowl TV for their team event. Tim Gillick getting lined up here in the finale, 3 for 3. Jeff Vogt continuing to roll here. 235 game 1, 247 game 2.
Now the front four. Gotta feel all right. 783, the highest series we've seen in the team event.
That'd be just a 1 pin behind. 782. Stranger things have happened. Long time to go for that, but
Well,
yes.
Speaking of big scores, we saw the bar in doubles, regular doubles raised just a couple days ago. Mark Sleeper Jr. and Anthony Simonson, the young 18-year-old two-hander, and they cracked 1,400. So first 1,400 of the year, 1,409. Now leading regular doubles. Sonnenfeld and Woodworth were up there since early March at 1,372.
The score held on for probably about 6 weeks or so. So trying to wait and see when it was going to happen, if it was going to happen. And Anthony and Mark got off to a strong start, and there really wasn't much of a doubt going into the final few frames. It was just a matter of how much. After Sleepers started with the front 4 or 5 in game 3. But you hear it from everyone. They always left something out there. Sleeper left a 7-pin in the 10th frame in game 3 and was unable to convert it. So definitely a few pins they gave back there, but overall just a very impressive performance. Sleeper, of course, first made headlines in 14 as he pulled one of the 35 perfect games at the National Bowling Stadium last year.
Did you read that on Bowl.com?
I did read it on Bowl.com. That's why I said, hey, I know that name.
Bowl.com, a great source of news, of course, from all of our championship events. News and highlights, scores, leaderboards, photos, webcams, you name it. Anything you want to know, it's all there. If you can't find it, let us know. Reach out to us via email, Facebook, Twitter. We're everywhere.
All right, we're getting ready to start the 5th here in Game 3 of Team Event. 123bowl.com and buddiesproshop.com are feature teams on lanes 3 and 4 at the El Paso Convention Center. 123bowl.com put on a very memorable performance at the 2014 event, firing 32 consecutive strikes as a team on their way to a 12.99 middle game last year. That was the record for a short while until Team Turbo Grips out of Fort Wayne, Indiana went 13-18 a little bit later in the tournament. But still a sight to see that many strikes up on the board at once. So today's all said and done. Jeff Vogt might have 32 strikes of his own. That guy is striking a lot. But 123bowl.com finished up last year 33-81. Nice. Also had games of 1,009 and 1073. Buddies Pro Shop a little ahead of pace at 33.94. They ended up 24th, I believe, last year. That 12.99 game featured a pair of 279 games from Roger and Solomine. Gillick 254, Vogt 244, and Kipperman 243. So that's how you shoot 12.99, folks. Tom Adcock and Matt McNeil watching these guys. So we're here on the low end, not too far away from the showcase lanes and the Bowlers Journal Championships going on right now.
So we get to the exciting part of game number 3 here, just past the halfway point, or at the halfway point. So a nice 10th frame run by Team NABR on the way to the team lead. Just a little over a week ago.
Very nice 5th frame there for 123 Bowl. Vogt makes it 6 for 6 here in the finale. Righties are looking all right here after some struggles in game 1. Roger and Kipperman struggling a little bit here in game 3. RJ still clean. Mullin with an early double and a few spares.
Well, it'll be interesting to see our all-lefty group. Mark Scroggins coming out.
I'll have to practice for that one.
So I'll have to practice. They'll be doing things that we're not used to.
It'll be a 2-4-5 is a 3-5-6. 3-6-7 is a 2-4-10. You'll have to come up with a cheat sheet for this.
Well, they're gonna be moving and stuff. I don't know if I'll even be able to follow along, but looking forward to seeing what those guys are capable of.
Four in a row for Tom Solomai. He actually had the big set for 123bull.com last year. I want to say he was in the 760s when it was all said and done. 768. Roger was 742. Vogt 629, Gillick 627, Kipperman 615 to their 3381 total. Again, we want to thank everyone for joining us here today. Had a good steady crowd all day for this show, and we appreciate you spending some time on your Friday night with us.
Do you though? Do you appreciate it?
I do.
That's true, folks. He actually just says that all the time in the office.
Otherwise, if we didn't do this, I couldn't be your sidekick. So
it's true. The opportunity of a lifetime.
Ha. Five out of 6 for Tim here in game 3. Mullin connects as well. little love on the 4.9 for Jeff there. And before the question pops up, they will not turn red here at these scoreboards. It's only at the National Bowling Stadium. Good question in the chat room from our good friend Jeff DeMunk. I honestly don't know the answer. Why do they turn red at the stadium? Is it just a special feature of the NBS and all of its...
Well, they do have different display boards at the NBS, and that's just something that that's been worked out with that scoring system and those scoreboards. Our Dactronic scoreboards here at the Paso Convention Center this year, of course, debuted in 2009 and have many more colors and capabilities. And that is just something that is unique to Reno at this point in time. But if you get 7 strikes here, then you get 5 more, it still counts the same. We don't see color, we just see X's.
The red strikes certainly do gain the attention, though, of everyone around you, as a few folks are mentioning in the chat. Of course, one of our favorite stories. One of our first broadcasts of, or it might have been our very first broadcast of 2013. Jason Narlock, first-time participant, started with 7 in a row, and you saw him turn ready. You thought, hey, what'd I do wrong? Am I in trouble? Then he found out it's just all part of the fun and went on to shoot .299 that game on our live on our broadcast.
We got a full house tonight, 1-52 in this fantastic venue, and bleachers full, Bowler's Journal full, all talented players and bowling fans looking on. Looks like it's going to be a festive weekend here in El Paso. And we'll be back on the air tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. We have newest USBC Hall of Famer Sam Lanto. Of course, that team includes 3-time Eagle winner Matt McNeil. He's on quite the run of all events totals. Going back to 2010, shot 23-26.
Is that good?
It's a pretty good number. And I think his 2099 back in 13, I believe. He felt disappointed with that. I kind of LOL'd a little bit, but I can understand it when you set the bar that high. So we'll see.
Well, when you shoot 2,200 plus every year, I mean, yeah, he's 100 off pace.
Well, those guys always have some excitement here on Bowl TV, so we'll look forward to that. But right now, we'll wrap up with 123bowl.com. Jeff Folks bid at a second 300 here comes to an end.
Actually shot his 309. That was his first tournament appearance. Got it out of the way quick.
And now he'll be a celebrity here for the rest of his career, of course, getting announced in the squad room and out on the lanes before team event each year. Definitely a cool goal. Mike Larson in the chat room understands that. If I'm not mistaken, his little profile picture there might be from the lanes at the Open Championships. Mike bowled a perfect game in 2012, one of 19 that year.
So far, the 2015 event, we have 4 perfect games. 2 in doubles, 1 in singles. 1 in team event.
So, question from Jeff DeMonk, where's Matt McNeil on the all-time average list? Well, about 10 years away.
Ha.
You gotta have 20 years minimum in order to be included on that list. So he's still got a long way to go. Just a few years into his career here.
He's just a kid. Kid with a dream.
Yeah, the youngster just graduated college.
Ha.
Or is about to, I'm sorry, it's about a week away. At the ripe old age of 28 or so.
Stop counting. Just stop counting after 25, so it's all downhill after that.
I hear you. No 4-bagger for Gillick here. He had 6 of the first 7 before going high there on lane 4. And here's Mullin up on lane 3, looking for 3 in a row. He goes high, leaves a 6-pin. He's kind of the pride of the lefties here tonight. 3 southpaws. Roger and Kipperman struggling a little bit here tonight.
Oh, we're definitely seeing a different kind of ball roll from Mullin too compared to the other 2, so that's definitely playing into the angles Mike is able to play versus RJ and Dave.
Lane machines coming out, doubles and single squad coming up next here at the El Paso Convention Center. Awesome schedule this year. Nobody has to get out of bed too early and no one has to stay out too late. More time to enjoy the host city. First time we've ever been here. This is the 112th edition of the Open Championships. And we kick things off on March 7th. We'll be here all the way till July 12th. So plenty of time. If you have not bowled, would like to, still time to register. You can visit bowl.com or check the subboard if you'd like to just come out and fill in.
Jeff's back on it after the 10-pin in the 8th frame. It's kind of a nice head start to stare down that 21.81 from Mr. Gottschall.
Well, certainly a test of versatility. 2 different lane conditions here in 2015. It's been the case since 2013 when we introduced fresh oil for every squad. This year's lane conditions, 38-foot team pattern. And doubles and singles is 39 feet, a little more volume. Of course, you can check out both patterns before you compete in the actual Open Championships by using the showcase lanes. Team practice sessions available. Pair of lanes for 1 hour, $150. If you have 5 or less people, you get 1 lane for the hour at $75. And the Bowler's Journal features the doubles and singles lane condition. So, no better way to get a look at the 2 lane conditions than on 10 lanes installed at the exact same time that use the same machines and the same oil that you'll see during the Open Championships. All of that information and much more can be found on bowl.com.
Mentioned his name a few times, but just saw USBC Hall of Famer Sam Lanto making his way over to the showcase lanes. Looks like him and his Linz Lakers teammates are gonna have a little last minute session here before showing up for the big show tomorrow.
Mr. Smith, our time here is almost completed. 10th frame, moments away. Game 3. 2 decent scores, easily in the cash. Flirting with that 3,000 number. Only 39 teams above par at this year's event.
Well, they'll definitely have a chance to make it number 40 and 41. 3 opens, all on strikes for 1-2-3 bowl. Definitely not what they were hoping for, but the score is out there. Buddy's Pro Shop just working on a double from Macaron. Everyone else is clean in the ninth. only had 3 open so far here in Game 3 after just having 4 in Game 2. Definitely have minimized the mistakes. Vogt putting on a show tonight for the Bowl TV audience.
If I'm not mistaken, one more strike will put him in the 760s. That's where Eric Familia finished his team event, 762. He was our all events leader for a while. Now, of course, Rob Gottschall on top, 21.81. Had 7.83 in team event and kept that momentum going.
.235, 247, and here's our final offering. Jeff Vogt, 279 for 761. What a performance.
Really setting the pace for his team and carrying the weight tonight. So they will cruise into that 3,000 number. And have a nice head start for all events tomorrow. 21.81, 21.52 is second Chad Moss from Waukesha, Wisconsin. Struggles continue for Broget.
Nice double in the 10th from Brian Graham. Nice steady performance from Brian. 214, 224, and 220. Get him to 658. Forry was at 558. Broget 514. nice shots from Tom after the open in the 9th frame. And all three for 225. I give him 616. We'll have to make a call for lane 3 after that not so friendly hit for Fury. Kibberman finishes up 164. They'll give him 584. So 30-83, the max score for 123bull.com. And 30-44 still out there for Buddies. 30-34, excuse me.
These guys just trying to get a little more airtime. Breaking lane 3. 830 doubles and single squad. Getting ready to come on out here in just a few minutes. Lane machines are out doing their thing.
Hardest working guys here. Kegel flexes. So we'll have to get a score correction in there for John. Should be 216 though.
Appreciate everybody joining us. I know some folks checking out now that we're about done. We're back on the air tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. local time for Matt McNeil and company.
$585 for Tim Gillick. Give them 30-60 on the nose. So 123bull.com is going to grab a spot a few ahead of their crossing team. Still waiting on that score correction, so
all right, looks like we're back in business. Mike Mullin's going to finish things up here, along with Tim Gillick, sorry. Team leader, 33-68.
Oh, my apologies. I think they put the 8-1 in Tim's spot instead of John's, so they have more pins than I gave them credit for.
Both teams are going to be a little bit short of our team leading 33-68, but not a bad performance overall and a good head start for some team all events tomorrow. They'll be back on the lanes, looking to find success in doubles and singles.
So there's Tim's final strike, 246, so that will give him a little bit more than 585 and the team a little bit more than 3060. Certainly don't want to short anyone here. So 608, the number for Tim. And 3083. All right, there we go. And there's our final shot, 211 for Mullin. $10.39 and 3,021 for Buddy's Pro Shop. Looks like 623 for Mullin. Well, Matt Cannizzaro, take it away.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast from the 2015 USBC Open Championships. Matt Cannizzaro and Aaron Smith. We brought it to you live from behind lanes 3 and 4 here at the El Paso Convention Center. We'll do it again tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. local time. Matt McNeil, Sam Lanto and company here on Bowl TV. Thanks for joining us. That's the news for now, and we'll see you on the lanes.